To Fettes College was another royal engagement in Edinburgh.
For generations, Fettes College enjoyed a reputation as one of the most distinguished private boarding schools in the UK. But in January, a damning report found pupils were sexually and physically abused there for decades, not only by teachers, but other children too. The Scottish Child Abuse Inquiry found that Fettes failed to protect children from abuse for 30 years until the 1980s. John Wood was one of those children.
Fettes was an extraordinarily Dickensian nightmare. There was no adult supervision, so the lights went off in your dormitory, and it was savage.
John says he was physically and sexually abused at Fettes from the age of 13, initially by other pupils.
I was abused peer on peer. There was boys who played rugby who would beat you. Was raped.
In 1971, Anthony Chenevix Trench joined Fettes as its headmaster. John says he went on to be abused by him too.
Well, he arrived and I had started running away, and every time I ran away I was sent over to his lodge, and you went up the stairs and you'd go into this room and there was a sofa. But more often than not he did require that I stripped myself and bent over the thing, and he would hit me, and it would get harder and harder.
Chenevix Trench previously taught at Eton College, the country's most privileged boarding school. He was appointed to Fettes despite serious warnings about his behaviour there. At his lowest moment, John attempted suicide. But he says he did find kindness amongst the trauma.
A few things that stick in your mind, and one, I was at school with Tony Blair. He helped clean me up after I'd been beaten up a few times. He always asked if I was all right. You remember people like that? But he was singularly empathetic.
Do you remember whether you talked to him about the sexual abuse? Was he aware of that?
No, I didn't talk to anybody about that. He went through the school as well, so he would have seen the brutality, he would have seen the lack of care, of course. But there was nothing anybody could really do.
John went on to become a successful theatrical agent, but he says the abuse has cast a long shadow over his life.
You know, I worked in show business as an agent and mixed with the great and the good, and I've had one of those, been there, done that lives, but I was never present. I never allowed myself to engage in any kind of intimacy. I recoil from physical touch. I spent most of my life numbed with cocaine and vodka.
John gave evidence to the public inquiry into abuse at Fettes, but he says that more than a month after the report's findings were published, he has yet to receive an apology from the school. So they've never apologised to you personally?
No, I have heard nothing.
I mean, did the unreserved apology that they issued after the official report, did that give you any peace at all?
No, not at all.
Tell us why not.
Because it's just empty words when you know the way that they have been treating victims. The wreckage of the past catches up with you. I mean, I've lost houses, I've lost pensions, etc., through the chaos of my life, which was definitely down to those years growing up, and definitely down to my experiences at school.
And just explain what you want out of Fettes and why you're speaking now.
I want them to acknowledge me. I want them to make some kind of redress for everything that I've been through.
By that you mean payment?
Yes, why not? It seems to be the only thing that, that they can relate to.
A spokesperson for Fettes College told us they were deeply saddened to hear of John's account at the inquiry and offered their unreserved apology to him. They say they have previously agreed to meet John and the offer of a meeting remains open.